to Talk Uncensored. You already know I'm your host, Akayshia Estee.
And I'm April Hogan. Unfortunately for today, we do not have DJ Ari, but the show must go on. She'll be back shortly, hopefully for the next episode. But how are you doing today?
I'm good. What about you?
Me too. I'm pretty good. So she doesn't have her question.
She don't.
I just thought about this. I was about to say, wait. Generally, the question happens right now.
She should have sent us one.
She should have sent us one. Okay, we're gonna think of a question. All right. I got a question
for the audience then.
Get a question from the audience?
No, we can question the audience.
You get a question for us?
No.
So you guys, everything we do is it's never it's pre-recorded, but we don't have a script.
No, we really don't. We really
very
don't.
Unscripted. So when you see little dur moments like this, it's because it's fresh off the top. Like we don't rehearse it. So
well, they could give us the question. Yeah, let's let them send in a question.
I would like to know if you, and honestly, you guys, we need you to do this anyway, topic wise. What type of topics would you like to hear from us? What type of things you want to hear about? What type of stuff you want to hear us debate about? If you haven't learned yet, that's what we do on the show.
We don't agree about everything.
No,
gosh,
we don't agree on it. But we still have a good, we have a good general same thought pattern.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
that is true.
A good general same thought pattern.
Definitely.
All right. So if you guys got to check out last week's, you guys got to see that we had Miss Ashley Hunt-Pool on.
We did.
And I'm going to say last week. I say last week because we know it's 2 weeks later. The last episode. So
we're going to try to remember to say that.
Right, exactly.
Last episode.
Exactly. So she, of course, talked about her different brands. We actually, if you guys didn't see or haven't been following the page or you're a new follower, we were at her event.
We were.
Amazing. Absolutely. And if you want to see how it went, at the end of this episode, you'll get to see us talk about post the white party.
And how fine we were.
How fine we were. But y'all saw it if you watched. All right. So if you haven't noticed, since we don't have a question, I'm just going to go into we always highlight a business. If you haven't noticed, the whole time I've been talking,
you know your nails get done, you talk with your hands.
I kind of have some bling bling on my fingers.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right. I don't even like to show that side because it shows that it's rings. But it's fine because this is the bling bling on my fingers, right? So, Divine Designs. If you watched the second episode, we had Miss Alexis on, and she got to have the sex talk with us. What you didn't know, because we didn't talk about it, is that she owns a business.
Right.
And her business is called Divine Designs.
She has so many accessories.
Lingerie.
Lingerie.
So I got the opportunity today to kind of rock some of her more elegant stuff. So you see my earrings.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So these come from Divine Designs. I generally rock one of the, so I don't like pain. So getting a nose ring is almost out of the question. I'm still considering. Yeah. So she has the ones that you can put on that.
Yeah.
So I rock
they're
those.
cute and they look real.
Yes, they do look very real. And they're comfortable. But then these are a little bit more dramatic. She introduced me to these, today. She said she was going to wear them as Catwoman. But she's got gold too. I'm going to wear gold.
She's going to be crawling.
Girl. Going in somebody. I can imagine these sticking in somebody's
role
walls.
play.
I know. Hubby, I'm coming. So, I wanted to highlight her company because literally she has got me hooked to some of the jewelry that she sells. So she does have an online platform. It is divineaccessories.net. So that's where you can find her. You'll see it at the bottom of the screen. Divine Accessories. When I tell you, it's not just basic jewelry. Like, as you see, it's very
not basic.
Out of the box.
But she's not basic.
Right. Now, it does have the basic stuff. So if you want to have like the elegant, just jewelry.
If you want to be ordinary and regular.
She got it for you too.
For the regulars.
Right. But for all of those.
Extraordinary.
Right. And she has the waist beads, which I know
They
are
didn't
pretty
see
popular.
this.
Oh, yeah,
That
yeah.
is, like, this is so pretty.
It is.
This right there.
It is, yeah. It's the bougie one. I'm joking. I'm joking. We all love bougie. So, yeah, this, you guys see how I'm going to point it out with my nail? This is another one that I got from her. Not this, just my wedding ring. But this is another one I got from her. So, yes. If y'all see me
really
out in
nice.
these,
What you gonna do? Not answer the phone because you can't.
I can't. That's the lovely part about Siri. Siri, answer.
Send a message. It is. It's nice.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to wear these the whole
Photo shoot
episode.
for me.
Yes, I know. Especially with some like black leather.
I got some.
See how she tried to slip that in there. I know she's wrong.
Get some out.
So yeah, I'm gonna wear these the whole episode. Unfortunately for you guys, that means I'm gonna be doing this a lot. Cause I like to.
You need some braids.
Do I? Oh yeah.
For the
Extra as hell. Okay, I'm gonna lay these here.
All right.
So we have some pretty awesome topics for you guys today. Last week's topics were a little more serious. Well, no, because I'll even say the baby daddy one's pretty serious. Because it's real life.
It is real life.
Right. So, I mean, honestly, your version of serious, meaning the world's version, is all of our topics are serious. Because even the sex talk is serious.
It's serious.
Yes, sex is a part of life.
Some folks every day.
Right? A couple times a day. Okay. That's pretty bad. This is the reason we need DJ Ari here, because I feel like she centers us a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Because she's one, you guys don't be seeing it, but she be rolling her eyes with what we be talking about and how we be talking. So we try to, but since she's not in here,
it's free game.
It's free game. So our first topic for today is, okay, so all of those in relationships. If you are in an intimate relationship, which means I'm boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, any of that. Our question is,
drumroll, wait.
Friends of the opposite sex, yes or no? So, with that being said, we know there's different types, right? Because there's the friends who are pre-existing, fingers, and there's the friends who come after you guys started dating. So, we'll start with the obvious one, I feel, after you started dating, right? So, you started dating Blow Joe, you have been dating for a month, and Susie Ann,
What's Susie Ann from? Okay, at the job. Okay,
he met Susie Ann, or he met Susie Ann at the bar. And they had some good conversation. Can Susie Ann be Blow Joe's friend? Why or why not?
After the fact.
Doesn't look like a good answer, but we're going.
I don't know about after the fact. I'm probably gonna say no. Cause you need to be our friend. Cause what's your motive?
Oh yeah. What? So why not?
I don't know her motive.
Yeah.
If you really want to be friends, is Susie Ann in a messed up relationship?
So
is Susie Ann single and looking?
What if Susie Ann? What's his name? Billy Joe? Whatever his name is.
Blow Joe.
What if Blow Joe introduces her to you and says, "This is my friend. Let's hang out together." But I just met Susie Ann. But Susie Ann is a single woman.
I feel Susie Ann out.
Okay.
But Susie Ann got one time. That's it. To act like, and don't come at me either. But Susie Ann got one time to act like.
I kind of feel like I may be a little strict in this area. You don't need no friends other than me. You don't need no female friends other than me.
I said no.
Why? Like,
but you said if they asked us out, then I'd be like, let me see.
I still don't think I'd do that, because why? Because why do you want to be, if you're a single woman or a single man, why do you want to be friends with this couple? You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like...
She want them both, don't she?
She may not. But it could be where, as long as I'm going to find my way in. You know You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, some people are like that, and I ain't got time.
Right. People's motives are
all
just
this right here be gone.
Right.
Throat.
And then what makes it worse is if that's a friend, then anytime y'all get into a fight, Susie Ann's to the rescue.
Yeah. No, Susie Ann can't do it. No, not after.
Ain't no reason for Susie Ann to be talking to my man.
We'll see Susie Ann at the bar when we go to, hey, how you doing?
Right.
Ain't no need to, like.
And you really shouldn't be having a whole lot of conversation with Susie Ann either.
Ain't no need to exchange nothing.
Right. Yeah, why did you give your number to Susie Ann? Now, if it's at work, then I can see maybe having a work situation. But even in that, Susie Ann don't need to be texting you and calling you outside of work situations. Just my thought. Because then most men aren't going to be okay with it on the other side.
Sure ain't.
It's going to be, well, they got another motive. Ain't no man just trying to be a friend.
They sure to be saying that.
And this is their excuse when I say, no, they're different. I know how a man's mind works.
I'm a man.
Right.
Okay, I'm a woman.
Right. And that's the reason you can't have no friends that are females. All right. So, before I give any more after the relationship scenarios, let's talk about the friends before the relationship.
I'm okay with the friends before the relationship.
Are there any stipulations?
Don't disrespect me.
So I'm saying, like, what if she is an intimate partner from before?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I have to have that conversation. I really don't know.
Okay, so me. I still feel like, why do you need boundaries. Other friends other than me? Like,
now granted, still involved. I don't know.
Right. Well, and then that's where it goes back to. Like, I'm gonna tell you, my husband is not okay with me having any friends that I've had sexual encounters with. So that already seals it for him. No, sir. Yeah. Like, honestly, I love him, but he probably ain't cool with me having friends with anybody that's a guy. What you need friends? What you need to be friends with him for? Now, in our type of like couple relationships, like my couple and your couple, so we can do that type of thing because there's a mutual understanding that it's a group thing. But in a sense of like just a guy, like
y'all just like hanging out,
right? Like what you texting them for? What y'all gonna text about?
I don't think I have an issue with it. I need to be now the pre-existing friends. No, I don't have an issue with it. Do I would want to meet them?
Mm-hmm. I would definitely want to
for
Yeah, I would definitely want to understand like what is the relationship like. Is it somebody you gotta talk to every day? Then probably not. Like it's wide.
Yeah.
Have you had previous relationships? Probably not. Do you only talk to them when I'm not around?
Now that right there, you get your head knocked off.
Right. Like, is it a fully open, like, understanding that, hey, like, when she calls, I'm right there and I can see and you don't wait until I'm not there. Like,
now you sneaking. So why you feel like you gotta sneak?
Like, what y'all gotta talk about that is, but I will put this boundary. You should not be talking about our relationship.
Yeah, that's a big no.
Right. Because it opens doors that are not.
I'm real picky about
it.
Not
like, that kind
I don't
of
like people to know my business.
Right. I honestly don't even like you to tell your dude friends that. But to an extent. I know you gotta have somebody to vent to.
Yeah, you gotta have your venting person. We said that on one of the episodes too. Yeah, you gotta have your venting person, but as far as like just all up in it.
Yeah. All the homies, number one. And number two, them not knowing their boundary. Like we like, for instance, I told my homeboy, or for instance, that's like me telling you, hey, my husband did this. And then when we all go out as a group and you can see that I'm irritated at him for something, you're like, see girl, that's why I told you to leave him. Like, not that type, like, not that type of, you know what I'm saying? Like, understanding that when we come to each other, we're coming for the purpose of like, hey, I need your ear, I need your...
Or what do you think about this? Or I just need you to listen. I already know the answer to it. I just want you to listen.
Mm-hmm. Right.
We do it all the time.
We do. So I'm curious in the comments.
Y'all allowed or you ain't allowed?
And
either
then
you is or you ain't.
What's the circumstance? Like, what is the... Okay, if yes, is there a boundary space? Is there something that like, as long as this? Like, Like, I can almost see, like, people who knew each other forever. Like, I've known you since you were little.
Yeah, I wouldn't come between that.
Right.
I really would not come between. Like, my heart won't let me come between nothing
No.
like that. See you at the wedding.
Right. Right.
But, no, my heart wouldn't let me come between nothing like that. But the little...
Right.
I don't know what to call them.
Extras. The extras. The associates. The little associates.
Little extras that all of a sudden want to flock.
Right. And that don't really have any real significance in your life.
Yeah. Could it?
Right. Because what do you need those type of friends for? And if I'm gonna be honest, this is probably petty. If it's one of those friends that you have to heart all her stories, why?
I ain't smelling.
Why? Why are you on her page that much? Like, I've got to see that it's an innocent friendship. I think I can deal with an innocent friendship.
Me too.
Yeah.
But don't have me looking stupid though.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Because then both y'all heads got to get knocked off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I almost feel like she don't owe me no loyalty, but you do. Now, if we've gotten to the point that you introduced us and we've had a mutual understanding and she did denounce both of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but your head has definitely got to come off because you do owe me loyalty. It was our commitment.
Detachment.
Right. Our commitment. So
yeah, the afterwards, females can be messy, mischievous. All of a sudden, you popping up or like, I ain't got time for it.
Right, or they can also try to plant seeds.
Yeah,
like plant information to make you feel like the grass.
But men do that too.
Yeah, they do. They do. They do. So you guys. Only because we're trying not to go over our hour because lately we have been. I'm going to take it on a break. Mm-hmm. When we get back, although we still have this topic, I want to talk to you guys about this guy on social media that has been pressing my buttons. And when I talk about him, you may know, I'm not going to say his name, but just by what we're going to say. All right, we'll be back after these messages.
Tuning in to Talk Uncensored every other Wednesday, 12 Central. I'm your host, Akayshia Estee.
I'm April Hogan.
And I'm DJ Ari.
And you can tune in on Instagram. You can tune in on Facebook. You can tune in on YouTube. And soon we will be on Roku TV.
Talk to you soon.
Welcome back to Talk Uncensored. So as you guys see, my fingers are gone. I gave them to my host friend over here. But I did keep the thumbs. So I'll still be flaunting my thumbs and my ring throughout the conversation. So our topic, I'm April Hogan. If you're just joining us, I'm April Hogan.
I'm Akayshia Estee.
We're missing Ari today, but we're flowing, acting a little silly. We're rocking some Divine Design jewelry that you can find on divineaccessories.net, divineaccessories.net. So our current topic, I actually just like it with the thumb too. Our current topic is relationship. People who are in relationships. Friends. And now that I don't have the nails on, I keep doing this like I have them.
I've been posing.
Are friends of the opposite sex okay? We've discussed it in two different ways. Either prior to you guys' relationship and during you guys' relationship. So it kind of sounds like a synopsis for us is, as far as prior, it's just based on the
longevity and
right, based on the relationship.
If it's really solid and genuine.
Now, if it's happened after the fact, I think overall, now we do have a couple possible exceptions, but overall it's a no-go. Mm-hmm. Right. It's a no-go. So I do have a question though. Mm-hmm. Parental friends. So baby daddies and baby mamas that are friends. Mm-hmm. Like friends. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I think that's cool.
Okay.
As long as like for me, if me and my kids' dad was cool, I would be cool. Like I would be like genuinely cool. Like, hey, like let's go get some lunch or something. You know, let's catch up with the. You know, let me tell you what the boys been up to or something. You know, something like that. But somebody that's still like trying to get with me and all that, you can shove it.
Now let me ask you. Let me ask you this, because sometimes men more than women, but sometimes women too, feel like once mine, I could always get it, type of thing. So especially, and I've heard a lot of men is like that. That's my baby mama. I don't care who she with, I can get it.
Get it like
it. That tang.
I think I've broken that cycle.
Right. So do you feel like those kind of relationships, even if it's innocent, because your goal isn't that, do you feel like those ones are okay?
Because the other one has a motive.
Right. Yeah.
And like, now you can't come in my house and stuff because I don't need my man not being able to trust me, and now we into it.
Right.
I ain't got time to be arguing. You ain't finna mess up my household because that's what you're trying to do. Disturb the peace.
Right.
Now I got to go get the sage and sage after you.
Right. I feel like friendships in a parenting relationship is actually important. And I'm going to tell you that I've actually struggled with this topic because me and my child's father get along pretty well. Really well. Like, even to the point my mom has said before, like, I've always thought women and men can't be friends, and you guys have proved me wrong, because I know you have no interest, but y'all both have that, let's take care of our kid mentality. It is a struggle in relationships, though, because the other person doesn't always understand that that's all it is.
Yeah. If they don't do it themselves either.
Yeah. Well, because it's not typical. So it's like almost like you almost have a double standard. Like, if I don't get along and it's drama, it's a problem. But if we get along, it's still a problem. Like, so that has been a tough thing. Now, I will say, my kid's father sometimes is a little too friendly. But I don't want to say friendly like in, it's like, okay, I'll give an example. He's one of those, he calls everybody sweetheart. But everybody. My mom, his sisters, me, it's just a word that he uses. Or we'll be somewhere and, for instance, we had something going on a couple years back, and while he was going and grabbing everybody's stuff, he grabbed something for me. Like, it was food. So he was grabbing everybody's, we were all at the same place, so we were all going to eat anyway. But he had grabbed something for me because I was doing something at the time. So it was like, well, why did he grab that for you? But I didn't ask. It was just more of the courtesy of, okay, well, I grabbed theirs, I was already over there. So, yeah. Which I also tell him, like, don't do that stuff. Because that doesn't look right. Right? Yeah. But he also is one who will, if he's out and he's grabbing the kid something, he'll grab me something, plus he'll grab the other person something. Yeah. So, but men will get prideful and be like, I'm grabbing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we all be eating. Shut up.
Right. Did you want to buy it? Like, no. Which I think my husband's better with it now. I'm not talking about that situation, but I think my husband's better with this now. So I'm one of those, if I go to a bar, if someone's willing to buy me a drink, I'm going to say, I don't spend my money. I don't even have to have a conversation with him. Just want to buy me a drink.
Yeah, some guys just buy drinks. They're like, hey, I saw you sitting down. And they don't even bring it to you. They'll pay for it and let the bartender give it to you.
My husband ain't with it.
Shit, I'm going to drink it.
I'm like, babe, we just saved us some money.
Because I say, can you get two?
Well, every time he's not there. Like, I'm just...
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. But my thing is, it's like, I saved my money. It's not even like he's buying it and making you look bad because you're not there. Like, and even if you gave me money to drink, I'm still saving the money you gave me. Like,
that's true too.
I'm looking out for our household. Like, as long as I'm not sitting having whole long conversations. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and allowing someone to think something other. Yeah. Like, I've literally had people, I was with my girls, and they come by drinks, and it's because of me, but they buy everybody drinks. I say, no, take your drink back. No.
My friends be laughing. They be like, "How you always get us drinks?" I'm like,
right, but what do you say? No.
I'm not gonna say no.
No. He wasn't asking for nothing in return.
Well, my friend. Oh, he does that though. He just be like, "Hey, let me get you a drink," or "I'm finna buy y'all a drink." He does that. So
see, and because my husband knows you're a friend.
Yeah.
He doesn't about him.
Yeah, but he does that in general, like just to whoever.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I know people who just do it just cause they don't care nothing about that. They just like for everybody to have fun and here you go.
My baby is
loosen up.
Territorial.
Now I can say one of my other friends was out with us one day and she was like, I don't like that. Why he buying everybody drinks? And I was like, just always does that.
All right.
She was like, oh, okay, well, I don't know if I like that. I was like, that's what he does.
Yeah. Well, and as you see, as you get to know people, if you get that that's just his mannerisms.
Yeah. I was, you finna come right back over here and buy us. Well,
and then, I don't know if I can say this because then everybody will probably know what I'm talking about. Never mind. Never mind.
New subject.
Right. We're not going to talk about Joshua. Okay. Anyway. So I'm saying. Okay. So, listen. I want to.
Hold on, wait. Can we call him that?
What?
Hootie hoo.
Okay, so that's the nickname for her friend for every other episode. Is Hootie Hoo. If you're watching, that's your name. If you hear us say Hootie Hoo. I haven't announced
I remember that.
Right, I don't really say my husband's name. I always just say my husband. So we gotta give him a name too.
Okay. I gotta think of how you.
So Hootie Hoo and whoop whoop.
Put over that too.
Oh goodness. So Hootie Hoo and whoop whoop.
Pull over that too fast. That's him, yeah.
Oh, so this weekend we gonna call him that the whole weekend. Come here, Hootie Hoo. But hey, you too, whoop whoop. We gotta come up there with the other person. He's gonna have to have a name. We don't have to think of it right this minute. We gonna sit here and ponder. We gonna sit.
Just kidding. Kinda, not really.
If you see us in public and you hear us, do the call. Bird call.
Mind your business.
That's his bird call. So
Birdman.
Whoop whoop. And it's recorded so we'll remember it.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
This is why Ari needs to be here.
Now she gotta watch it.
Now we done been on a whole tangent. Okay, so we're going to break because after we get back from the break, we're going to talk about our next topic. And I'm not even going to lie. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what it is. What is our next?
Mental health.
Oh, mental health. Okay. We started talking about.
She distracted by whoop whoop.
Bird call and hoo hoo. Okay, we'll be back after these messages.
Tune in to Talk Uncensored every other Wednesday, 12 Central. I'm your host, Akayshia Estee.
I'm April Hogan.
And I'm DJ Ari.
And you can tune in on Instagram. You can tune in on Facebook. You can tune in on YouTube. And soon we will be on Roku TV.
Talk to you soon. And we're back, guys. We are so in sync, and y'all cannot say that. I did not know she was gonna do that.
Right, we didn't. We said it's unscripted.
I just saw it after. What is it? My peripheral. I'm your host, Akayshia Estee,
and I'm April Hogan,
and we're about to tackle mental health, which is a more serious topic. So when we came back, we had to recollect ourselves and all of that good stuff. And I'm gonna ask my host, my friend, what are some struggles that you've may still be struggling with or may have overcome with when it comes to mental health?
Okay, so I first want to make sure people understand the difference between mental health and mental illness. Because sometimes
yes, the disorders.
Right. Some
Okay.
people will start off like, well, I don't have mental health. Everyone has the health of their mental state.
Right.
Mental illness is a sickness. Mental health means we all have a mental state, and what's the health of it? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it in between? Is it balanced? What is it? So don't automatically think when we talk about mental health that,
you have a disorder.
Right, a mental illness. And if you have a mental illness, that's okay.
It is okay.
Right. And really the best way to tackle that mental illness is to understand that you have it and to realize it's okay. So, all right, I digress. Now talking about some of my struggles with mental health. So, I feel like with my mental health in particular. So I was one, and most people probably wouldn't know this, I was not the popular kid growing up. I was, I always tell my husband that one of the reasons why I can relate to certain things is I still have the ugly girl tendencies. Like
what?
Which is just like saying, like, you know, some people, if you already grew up extremely popular, you grew up with everybody kind of like flocking to you, then your confidence level generally is a certain level already. So there's certain things that I won't do because, and then when I say I won't do, like, cause he'll always get into the, well, babe, you're so beautiful and you can do this and you can do that. And I'm like, yeah, but although now I do have confidence, and I'm very confident, I'm extremely confident, I still do have ugly girl tendencies, which means I'm a lot nicer than the people who may not have experienced what it felt like to feel unwanted and to feel like you or nobody, so I'm very cautious and stuff like that. I do still have my, and not that everybody doesn't have doubts, because even the most popular person in the world still has things that they doubt. I'm very outgoing and I'm willing to go talk to people, but a lot of times it is accompanied by what I know I can offer. Like, I'm not as good at just going up in a group of people and not having something to offer and just talking or just relating. I'm not a people person, so I can be the top of the crowd, the top of the conversation, the top of life of the party if I feel like I can offer something. I'm not as easy to just walk into a crowd and just be like, oh, I'm here, I'm fun. It's not that.
I can only do that in this dance.
Well, and
that's my confidence area.
Right. Now, when we out clubbing, that's different. But generally, I'm with my people.
Right.
So I don't need to introduce and talk to anybody else. It's just my people. But if it came to me having to go out with, you know, random people and now I'm automatically comfortable, it's not that. So I feel like one of my issues is in connection with worth. And again, I am confident. I know that I am worth, but also understanding that there doesn't always have to be a motive behind people wanting to be around you or always. So I oftentimes overgive because of that, right? Like, and then when you do overgive, it starts to feel like, so is that the only reason they care? Is that the only reason they want to hang out? Is that the only reason? It always feels like everything's with attachment. So then you get drained really easily.
Right.
So you get overwhelmed really easily. So I don't want to say worth as far as I don't know my worth. I just feel like sometimes most of my interactions are based on what I can give instead of just this is who I am. And that's why I don't connect with a lot of people. that's why I don't, because it's just so that is one that I would have to say. But I feel like that was derived from being the middle child. That didn't really matter. Still being an adult, it's the middle child. It doesn't really matter in my family. So I feel like one of the biggest struggles in any mental health situation is understanding that your worth and who you are cannot be based on what other people think and what other people feel. And once you realize that who you are has to be okay with you, regardless of regardless of how anybody else feels. I feel like that helps you move towards healing to be in a better mentally healthy place.
That's true. I agree.
So what about you? So you guys, this will be the episode that we will talk, and I will probably end up crying because it almost got me. But I'm being very
you reach back. You do reach back. So for me, I have been on depression pills before. The first time I suffered with depression was what is it after you're pregnant, after you have the kid?
Postpartum.
Yes. So I did suffer with postpartum depression, and they put me on a low dosage. I was like, I ain't crazy. I was like, I'm good, I'm okay, but not understanding that it was with my first son. That is a traumatic change in my life because I was used to entertainment and stuff, and so it was like a skirt because I danced up until I was like 30-something weeks.
Oh.
So I was very active the whole time. I performed, I had big t-shirts on, like I was still rocking it, still working out, doing a lot of stuff with my oldest one. So that was the first time I, suffered with depression. So then we fast forward, and then I still suffer with PTSD from the loss of my second son. So I do suffer with that. So it's like those are the reasons behind why I send the videos sometimes, because most of the time on those days I can't get out of bed. So you're gonna make me cry. I'm gonna cry. Yeah. So it's hard for me to get out of bed. So if I feel like I can do it for other people and motivate everybody else, then I can motivate myself. So that is the story behind the videos, like some days. And then those are the days that I'll be like the peppiest for some crazy reason. Like it takes me forever to get out of bed. Almost every morning. Like I drag every morning. I might lay there, but I still know I have to get up and I gotta make it happen no matter what. A lot of people think that, I don't know, I'm happy though. I'm a happy person. I have go through the whole healing and making sure I stay focused, not only for myself but for my two boys and everybody else around me. Is an easy no. I am getting back into counseling. So I've already talked to somebody and I fill out my forms and stuff like that to let people know that talking to a counselor is okay. Especially with and my coping mechanism. My coping mechanism is work. So if I start working extreme, that means I guess suppressively I'm trying to block something out. So I usually don't catch it. All my friends catch it. You're working like a dog, and you're tired, and I start snoring and everything. Because he'll let me know if I'm snoring. So I do suffer with it. I suffer with. I didn't know I was having anxiety. I didn't start that until after the passing. So it'll be like I didn't know what was going on. I was like, I can't breathe. Like I really cannot breathe. Like I can't catch my breath. I'm calling my mom. I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't breathe. I don't know why I'm crying. I'm just crying. And she was like, I think you have an anxiety attack. You need to calm down. You need to, So there are certain things I do. Like she's recently told me I need to start back running in the morning. So I would do a mile.
In the morning, then we need to be running together because I keep telling you to.
I know. But how many miles you talking about? I'm talking about 1 mile.
Okay, we can start slow.
Let her get back in shape.
We can start slow. Me too, girl. Anyway,
just because people small don't mean they're out of shape.
It's stamina. You gotta get
called a side cramp. Shoot, you have to carry me on your back.
I'm army strong.
I know. I can hold my weight. I'm like, all right, I'm good. I think I got it. But yeah, so running helps me with anxiety. I have a couple of y'all that help me with my schedule, keeping my schedule balanced. And then there are some times where I get, I don't want to say lazy, but like extremely laid back. And I may be suppressing something too then. So then it's like, why you not doing it? Why you not boom, boom, boom? So, and most of the time I won't notice it, but the people around me will notice it. And then I'll be like, yeah, you're right. I have been this, I have been that. So then I gather my thoughts and get back on track with things. So different things trigger different whatever. I have my highs, I have my lows, but overall I feel like you know what I'm saying, I feel good. And then also knowing that almost everybody has something going on with them. I don't know how it makes me feel even better because I'm not the only one, I guess. I guess that's how you can say it.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the things that I know for a fact that I fight. Those are my my demons that I fight every day.
Right. Well, and the thing is that other than the fact that I know you, other people outside your personality doesn't seem like you'd be going through anything. And I know mine, most people, and I guess that's one of the hard parts. It's like, because everyone always
You know how to turn
expects
on,
you.
though.
Yeah, but then that, it comes with the expectation.
Yeah,
they expect you to be
does.
strong. They expect you to know how to get out of it. They expect, like, so why, like, y'all don't go through nothing. Y'all always happy. No, that's what you see. Like that's what you see. Because honestly, doing the alternate, at least in my opinion, and I know my husband probably hates it sometimes, doing the alternate, what is that going to do? It's not going to fix anything.
Yeah, I always tell people, I think personally for myself, like one day I woke up and I was like, I am going to be happy. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not finna do this to myself. Like, I'm not finna think about not being here. I'm not gonna continue to be numb. But it was I just woke up and I was like, no, I'm gonna wake up happy. Mm-hmm. Like, even though it still takes me a minute to get up out of bed, once I get started, it's like, I'm going to be happy. Like, and if I start feeling like I'm gonna be down, I'm playing a video because I'm determined to be happy. Because first of all, I don't want nobody to come in my life to make me happy. I need you to add to my happiness. And nobody
can. And that's an unfair. Yeah. That's an unfair question to ask someone to make you happy. Right. So my daughter is 18. DJ Ari is my daughter. If you haven't figured it out, 18, and she is the most in the morning negative Nancy. So I always say I can deal with as we get through the day, but I know she's also not a really early morning person, and she has to get up early to come up here. And so during the day, I can battle the negatives. But in the morning, okay, if everything's a complaint, just please be quiet.
Yeah, just hush. Yeah. That's how I am too. Like, please hush.
Like, I do better. Yeah, I do better as I get to process my day. You know, and then we can go into all the other
our
stuff.
mornings, I think when we wake up, those to us are the most important. Like, for us, that kicks us off. Mm-hmm. So I can't hear nothing. No, like I will shut it down.
Me too. Like, listen,
I can't
nothing
do it.
Positive. Like, because you're already and you're already starting your day that way.
Yeah. So just be quiet.
Yeah. Like can we not look at everything half empty? Can we try to look at it half full? Mm-hmm. And if you can't, can you just zip your lip out? This is what you're doing. This is what I want you to do. So,
in the very moments.
Right. So, understanding this, too, is understanding that regardless of where you are in your life, a lot of people feel like, okay, well, I'm working towards healing. I'm healed. Boom. Mm-mm. You're never fully healed because there's always something else that's going to...
It's life.
It is a journey. It's a daily journey.
You never know what's going to hit you. And a lot of people who are... I don't know what to call them, but the type of people that might be like, oh, you know, they on this high horse, feel like they can't be touched, and talk about people who go through things and drag people through the mud. Stop thinking that it can't be you.
They're generally going through way more than the people.
Yeah.
And they just don't, they want to put up a facade that says that I'm perfect, I don't go through it. But it's okay to say that, hey, I got this going on, because if you can't say it, number one, okay, so I always say, I'm about to preach a little bit. I always say that everything that we go through for somebody else. Mm-hmm. I'm not going through my stuff for me. You're not going through your stuff for you. You're going through it to be a testimony to somebody else. So how are you being a testimony if all you're showing is the picture perfect side? Right. Because then you can't relate to the person who needs you to admit it, so they can heal. Mm-hmm. And then when they heal, guess what? It's just going to trickle down, because then now they've healed for somebody else. Vice versa. So the whole transparency, and that's the reason I love the thought of this show. Like, we'll have conversations that are extremely funny or extremely saucy, our word. Mm-hmm. But it's also the seriousness of understanding that we're all human.
Right.
We're going to have things.
like life. It's just life. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. Like, when I became an adult, I was like, you know, you're a little kid, you're like, oh, what's wrong with that person over there? Or why is this person homeless? And then when you get older and you go through stuff, you like I tell my kids now, they were like, what happened? Life.
Right.
That's my answer now. Like, don't talk about them. It's life.
God's grace is the only reason we're not there.
Right.
Like, it's not even a matter of, okay, well, I did better.
Woo.
Girl, Girl. I have a question.
Yes.
So, and this is why at some point we're going to have the God, Jesus, that talk, because it's a topic that literally I could go on about for a long time.
Let's do it.
But we're going to talk about, I just have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that God promises, or we are promised prosperity.
Mm-hmm.
I always have this thing though. Just like time is different in his eyes compared to time in our eyes. Just like for instance, 1,000 years to us could be a day for him.
Yeah.
Right? Prosperity could be different for him to us. So what if prosperity to him was being the homeless person on the street to witness to the...
Mm-hmm.
And I feel a lot of people automatically mean, my prosperity is riches. But just like Jeremiah expected to be able to marry the love of his life and still live for God,
mm-hmm.
God had other plans.
Mm-hmm.
But we also know, it says in the Bible, when you find a wife, you find a good thing. So...
I'm a good thing.
Keep talking.
That is an inside joke, y'all.
It
It is definitely an inside joke.
It is. I already booked the chapel. Yeah. So, what if, and just your thought pattern on it. We're just having a very transparent conversation.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on what prosperity means? Because honestly, I would hope, and Lord, I want you to hear me. I don't want that to be my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want it to be. But I would hope that if that is my calling, that I would accept that and just do what I'm meant to do. Right?
Right.
Even if it's just for a season, it may not be forever. But he would have to call, especially in the world now, somebody to do that piece, because we now don't believe in outreach. Like, this is a whole nother topic. Only outreach we do nowadays is Sunday morning in the church, or we go visit the other person's church.
Yeah.
And not all churches, but
I think our church is doing a good job with we got like connect groups, so
yeah, I promise
tell
you
you about
guys,
that later.
I'm not meaning everybody. I'm just saying
in general.
there's a big group of us. And I'm saying
Jehovah's
us.
Witnesses, they gonna knock on the door now. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to get off
That's
subject,
all
but I'm
I'm
just
gonna
saying.
talk.
They not gonna know. They gonna witness. They live up to it.
Right. And you notice none of their churches have windows?
Yes. What? I'm scared to go in there. What is up with that?
It's focus.
Oh,
It's
because I was about to say because
at least that's what I heard. It's for the purpose of focus. Like you're not focused on the outside world. Now I'm not promoting any religion. We're not promoting any religion.
Yeah.
What you choose
that's your
is
life.
what you choose, right? So
Life.
we're not promoting Jehovah's Witnesses. We're not.
But I did
Christianity.
notice one day I went past church. I said, "Well, why?" And this was like a couple months ago. I said, "Why that church ain't got no windows?"
I don't even call myself a Christian. I am a child of God.
Hallelujah.
I follow Christian beliefs, but I'm a child of God. I'm not promoting any type of religion. We're just talking in general.
I'm glad in churches they're starting. Well, some churches. Well, I know in my church they, talk about mental health and how you talk to a counselor.
Mm-hmm. I remember I was in a church, and this is some years back when I lived in
about
Ohio. Well, he would always say, for instance, like songs and sermons. He said, "I'm not talking about anything bad. I'm only talking about good stuff." This is the thing. How do you let people know that they're allowed to go through life if you don't address how to come out of it? Mm-hmm. Like, all he ever wanted to talk about was, like, it was just never, like, even songs. If it said anything like that song, "If you catch hell, don't hold it. If you're going through hell, don't stop." That.
I ain't never heard that.
So, basically saying if I'm going through something,
yeah,
you gotta keep going through.
Right.
And I'm just using it as an example. Like, if you talk about anything about, like, even like
what's wrong with
Help, Erica, Help, well, Lecrae, Erica, Mary, the girl,
yeah.
yeah. So even songs like that, anything saying that I need help or I'm going through, get me out of it, Lord. He didn't want to, like, that's a no-go. Like, it needs to all just be rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. But we do go through stuff. So,
but yeah, we need a reality. He need a reality.
Right, how do you combat?
What's he doing at home?
Right, how do you combat that? Like, those are the songs that I'm boo-booing to.
That's
Like,
mental health.
I'm
He got a
around.
mental health issue.
Sorry.
This for real, because there is no way you can. What?
Yeah, how do you teach people?
You can't teach nobody.
Because nobody's life is like that. Nobody's life is just straightforward, everything's perfect all the time.
Right.
So how do you teach people that it's okay to go through if we can't talk about that we're going through?
Ooh, they going crazy up in there.
Yeah, girl.
Everybody got to be on some medication. Everybody in there, because you can't do that. No.
All right. So let me ask, because while we're going honest, we are in the generation of mental health awareness, both in a good way and in a very extreme way. Because I promised my girls in a heartbeat, like Kizzy, we got to get out the house. Let's go here. This is messing with my mental health. Kizzy is homeschooled, by the way. My child is homeschooled, so she doesn't necessarily have to go to a facility all the time. So she spends a lot of time at home. And then she complains about being at home. But then when I'm like, all right, let's go here. Well, where is it? What are we doing? I'm like, Kizzy, doesn't matter. You get the house. This is messing with my mental health.
Oh, my goodness.
Like, even my daughter, Ariel, my oldest, Ari, everything is their mental health.
I think that's... What generation are they?
I don't even know.
Z?
I guess. Gen Z. I don't know. I have to look. It might be. Is that, I mean, they're 18 and 12.
They serious about their mental health.
But to an extent that
But my thing
can't
is,
be
everything
that.
is not that.
Right.
But I think it's been boom, like boom, boom, boom. Oh, if you're doing this, then you're this. If you're doing this, then you're this. Because back in the day, if your kid had ADHD and all it took was a whooping for you to straighten up,
You got a whooping.
you got a whooping, and you was good for a few weeks.
Now I will touch on that piece. I don't believe in whoopings. Now, a lot of people are going to say something different, but I did. I used to. Girl, my hands used to swing like.
Yeah, I don't do like.
But I'm gonna tell you the reason why it came to me not. So, it's almost like, how do you prevent violence by promoting violence?
True.
So instead, what I do is they work their asses off. So we do a military training.
Yeah.
My son will ask me, "Can you whoop me, Mom?" That's how bad it is.
I think my youngest one is at that point now, because I was whooping him, and I was just like, this is just not working. He like, get up and go do the same thing, like exactly the
You
same
talking about the
way.
youngest?
Yes.
Oh, my child.
When he was younger, and so now we do jumping jacks, and he has to hold his arms out, or he has to hold them up and look at me while I watch TV, or something crazy like that.
Put his butt in the chair.
And then-
my kids hate the chair.
And then he's like, wait, excuse me. Excuse me, Mom. Yes. My arms. It's been a minute. Like he counting. It's been a minute, and my arms are tired. I said yes, but when I asked you a minute ago to stop what you were doing, did you stop? Didn't that last longer than a minute?
Mm-hmm.
So your arms have to stay up longer than a minute. Oh my goodness. You ought to see,
He's such a man.
you ought to see the jumping jacks, girl, when he cried. He be so mad. Oh, he be so mad. He called me the other day. He was getting in trouble, and they were about to whoop him. I said, "No, you don't have to whoop him." I said, go take me the phone and listen to what I'm finna tell him. So I said, oh, so we're being disrespectful. So that means we need to do some jumping jacks. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I said, well, you need to be trying to figure something out, because I said, I can put the phone right here. You can just do the jumping jacks for me, and I'll watch you through the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Do your jumping jacks at your grandmother's house, miles and miles and miles away. And I watch TV. He was like, please. I was like, you better go apologize. And she was like, what? That's all I gotta do is make them do jumping jacks?
I don't like that physical stuff. Yeah, like my kids used to put them on the wall. They did chairs. So that's when you sit on the wall with no chair with your arms out. They be sitting there falling over.
Wall seats, oh
yeah. I'm like, get up. If you fall, I'm hitting you with the belt.
Get power with the belt, then have to sit back in that position.
And I make them sometimes get cans and hold them out.
Yeah.
Hold them out. So. And then if that got too tiresome, they stand up and hold their arms out, and they couldn't let them drop. They had to stay up. Woo, girl, my kids do not like exercise. Like, I mean, and they exercise every day because I make my kids work exercise. But when it comes to like getting in trouble with exercise, it works.
It throw them out because they ain't ready mentally.
Right.
Yeah, get up there and do the jump.
Right.
What?
I have put my oldest two on the chair in Golden Corral. Oh, y'all want to keep acting up? You see that wall? Go get on the wall. Mom, yeah, go. Like, and now
I need to do
my
that.
daughter took her shirt, put it over her face. Ariel, you got to show her face.
Which one?
She was so bad, and I'm sitting over there cracking up. Like, girl.
So you think, yeah, I just, well, for one reason, I ain't got time. My mental health means something too. I can't be whooping you like that.
Well, because I don't know.
They'll be sad.
I
at
feel
the
bad.
end.
I know.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
Now I done whooped you. Now you want me.
Right.
I done beat you.
See, you're lucky because when soon as they gonna get to eggs, they don't want you. So now they're mad at you. It didn't feel even worse. Like, oh.
Khalil will come out the room and say, "Mommy, I miss you."
You can trade me. Yeah, mine are mad at me. They try to be mad at me for a couple days till they need me. My son. Mom. Good time. Is it fit for herself today or you cooking? Yeah, when you need me. Right. Right. So anyway, back to mental health. It is important to, number one, recognize that you have to balance. And it's okay to talk to somebody. I feel like, especially in Black homes, we were taught for a while that what happens at home stays at home. Don't you tell our business. Don't you
sweep it up under the rug.
Right. And that doesn't help.
And you're not able to express your feelings in the home on top
that's
of
what I was about
that.
to say. That's one of the biggest things we do in our home. Like, I tell my son all the time. My son's 6'4", 15, like, super emotional because he's like his mama. But I always tell him, like, I'm okay with you coming back. Like, if I'm mad at the moment, you probably want to wait. But I'm okay with you coming back and saying, Mom, you really bothered me when you said this.
Yes.
Or it offended me. Or I didn't really do that and you blame me. Like, let's talk about it.
Right.
Because I don't want you to feel like, there was one time he huffed and puffed at me. He was so mad. But Mom, you guys are always, because he's the only boy. You guys are always saying I'm annoying, which we do. But it's more like he's the one who's got to bother everybody.
Yeah.
But we don't mean it in a bad way. But at that moment, it offended him.
It did.
So I had to sit for a second. I want to say, who are you yelling at? But I said, I'll calm down. Let's talk about it.
You make that in your regular voice.
Right. And even as parents, we got to realize that it's not okay. Yeah. Whoever said kids have no stress was never a kid.
Yeah.
Because that's a damn lie.
Yeah.
Because they do have different type of stresses than we have. But that doesn't invalidate the fact that they do. So let me tell you, and she's probably going to be mad that I said it. Ariel, this was 2020 during pandemic. Now, my child is 18 now. She wanted to move out since she was like 15, which we talked about on a different episode. Right. So she's going through this period, especially moving from Ohio to here, where she left all of her friends, where she just was not happy with nobody in the house at all. She had been working, but then she kind of is the one who doesn't really do her chores when it's time, so I'm always having to like get on her about doing her chores. And she told me one day, and it's not funny, you guys. This is just I'm just being completely honest. She said, "Well, you're the reason I want to kill myself." So, anybody who knows my story, I have pretty much been a single mother their entire life. So, and I also dealt with the fact that my mother, even now, treats me like I don't exist. Right. So, there are two types of people. There's a type of person who takes what they went through and they change it for other people. And some people, which is my mother, well, I went through it so you can. I'm the person who says, I went through that. I do not want my kids to go through that.
Yeah.
And I molded my life and my parenting to not be like that. So when she said that, I'm like I couldn't. I feel like I broke. Like I couldn't get mad. I couldn't yell because that's not gonna help.
Right.
I literally just started crying, and I know that probably felt like the weakest part. Cause it's like you let your daughter say that, and you just started crying because there's a reason why she felt that way.
Mm-hmm.
I can't discredit the way she feels, even though that wasn't the goal. And if I look at the big picture, to me, I do everything for y'all.
Right.
So, but in her eyes, at that age, all she sees is how she feels. I moved her away from where she wanted to be, and so I can't just discredit that because. So I gotta find a way, and I could yell and fuss, and then that takes her even deeper in a hole, pulls us further apart. Now I gotta find a way to swallow the fact that you just said, and try to talk you out of it. Like, try to get you to understand that that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Try to get you to understand that I care. Try to get you to understand that I do love you. And sometimes that's a hard thing to do as parents. But it also, how much you care about the people, the little people that are, from you.
Right.
Like, is it that hard to just swallow your stuff for a minute so you can help them understand? As opposed to now getting mad and yelling, and now you drive them.
Everybody about to go crazy.
Right. And at the time, when I tell you it was pandemic, so everybody was in the house, everybody was around each other all the time, 24/7.
Like, tired of just looking.
Right, so I know temperatures were up in the sky. But I say that to say that no matter what the age, no matter what the circumstances, it could be a teenager, it could be a kid, even a 5-year-old, it could be a 80-year-old that everybody thinks, well, you done lived your life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's still important to understand that everybody deals with stuff differently and in different ways. So a lot of times, because I honestly, if I would have dealt with that another way and started going off and being mad and being mean, not only would that have challenged her mental health, it would challenge mine. Because now we're further apart.
Right.
I got more to have to fix. So you have to not only, your mental health is important, but also think about how you're affecting other people, especially the people close to you.
Exactly. Yeah, my boys are... I always pray for my boys to be outspoken because I wasn't an outspoken kid.
Mm-hmm.
I was considered a good kid, I guess. If being a good kid is do what every adult tells you what to do, and it's not really good for every adult to tell you what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I was that kid. And my youngest one, I don't shush him that much because I know if anything goes left, he's going to tell me.
Right.
So I sometimes I'm like, be quiet. Be quiet. But
if you train him, his voice has no,
Yeah, so he knows, hey, if somebody tells you to do this, or you come back and you tell, both of them know, you tell me, or if I ever was to find out that my kids wanted to call me while they were with somebody and you said no, I'm going to have an issue with that because it could be something that's bothering them or they may be uncomfortable and you didn't let my kid call me. Mm. Now I got to be Katie from Decatur.
Katie from Decatur. If y'all ain't heard, you better ask who.
Now I got to be Katie from Decatur, as everybody say up here. And I gotta show my tail because you just wouldn't let that one phone call, something could have went wrong or anything of that nature. And now that one incident has my child or children messed up for the rest of their life.
Yeah. Well, and I want people to also recognize triggers. And I say that based on what you're saying is because someone may consider that child is just acting out, but you don't know what he's been through that's causing that. There may be a trigger that you just, you know what I'm saying? That,
yeah.
So, and that's even in general. We could have a situation, not to say me and you, but you could have a situation with somebody that maybe you thought was I wasn't even trying to say that, but you just set off a trigger. So understanding number one, you need to know your own triggers.
Mm-hmm.
What is the
What
triggers you?
Yeah.
Because if you
that's
know your
awareness
triggers,
that's self-awareness.
Yeah, you know when to walk away. You know when to, hey, it's happening. Let me just fall back for a minute. So you didn't know your triggers. Aside from knowing your triggers, you got to know how to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the sucky things is losing people in your life based on not knowing that it was a trigger, instead of just like, oh, okay, well now they just acting some kind of way. Right. So it's like being okay to communicate. I'm gonna tell you, I struggle being in relationships, and I don't mean relationship because I'm married. I'm talking about any type of relationship, friendship, family, anything. If we can't communicate, that's one thing I love about us is good, bad, ugly. We can talk about it.
Yeah, we can.
I actually just had a situation with someone that I considered a friend. And it's probably going to sound like, goodness, you dropped somebody that fast. but as soon as I realized that the only time we can talk is if it's good, but we can't talk about the bad stuff, then I don't consider us friends. I just consider we was cool. We was associates while it was good.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as something is not so good, if we can't communicate on both sides, I mean, you can receive mine, I can receive yours. Then how do you really consider that friendship? Even relationships, how do you consider that if it's one-sided? Like,
yeah, somebody lying, being fake.
Right. Well, and then also realizing there's three sides to every story, and that is true because we could have had an altercation. I have my side as to how I felt.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean that my side's a lie.
Right.
Your side and how you felt doesn't mean yours is a lie. That just means how you took it, how you felt about it, how I took it, and then the truth is ours together and what really happened. So you have to understand somebody else's truth. I could have said something and I didn't mean it that way, but you took it that way based on
and didn't communicate it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's important to understand.
If you walking around like you think everything good.
Right. So how do you know if you don't have those conversations? So so it is important to understand the importance of communication, which is very tied to your mental health.
Exactly.
It's important to understand your triggers, self-awareness, like she said, which is very important to your mental health.
Yes.
It's also important to understand that it is okay to dismiss situations. And I say dismiss by meaning creating boundaries that says that, all right, this situation is not good for me. This person's not good for me. I love you from a distance.
Yeah, that's true.
You do not have to be in somebody's face all the time to care about them.
Right.
And I feel like that's one of the biggest things that I struggle with family-wise. And I'm always transparent. And there's a possibility that somebody's going to see it. But I feel like seeing it, you already know because you already know where we're at. Mm-hmm. But I feel like if I have a choice to talk to you every day and always be in an argument or at it or walking on eggshells, then I prefer to not talk to you every day so that way I can keep the peace. So when you actually need me, I'm there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, exactly.
And there are some people in my family who have an issue with that. Like, oh, well, she don't ever come around, or she's acting funny, or she does this. And it's not that. It's just every time.
You chose peace.
Right, and peace. Peace. Let me tell you guys this. Stop asking God for peace.
That's why.
Because He's already given us peace, and He's already given us joy. It's for us to accept it.
Oh, yes.
So, I had to tell myself this other day in the car because I was driving down the road. Somebody made me mad. Yesterday I was telling you about the roofer people at my house. So I'm driving down the road, and instead of saying, Lord, give me peace, I said, Lord, thank you for the peace. He's already given it to me. Right. Everything that we need, He's already given it.
Yeah.
Right. He's already given it to us. It's now up to us to take it. Us asking Him to give it to us is us saying, you haven't given it to me yet. Give it to me. No, He's already given it. But free will means we have to choose.
Yep.
To take it, just like you made with the happess part. You said, "Hey, I gotta make a choice. I woke up and made a choice. I'm gonna be happy."
I think it was during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. And also remembering that's not faking the funk. Just because you're deciding that through a bad situation I'm gonna be happy, you're not being fake. You're training your mind to say, "I am going to make myself be happy." And the more you do that, the more you will.
And that's for those who understand emotional intelligence.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. When people go like, well, if you're really sad and you're saying you're going to be happy and you're faking it. No. I'm just telling myself that I'm going to live beyond
Right.
that feeling of depression or that feeling of, and you can still have those thoughts, but you're forcing and disciplining yourself
Training
to
your
say,
mind to shut it down.
right, to shut it down and not live in it, because that is a terrible thing to live in
You
it.
gotta shut it down.
Right. So this is another topic that could go on all day.
On and on and on and on.
As a lady.
DJ ain't here, so I gotta sing for y'all. So.
Right, she's doing. So yeah, we are encouraging everyone, and we actually both have some mental health coaches that we want to shout out. I actually have one. Her name is Michaela Joyner. Her website is coiledinconfidence.com. She is a mental health coach. She is not a therapist. She will tell you she is not a mental health therapist. She's a mental health coach. So she's going to give you the tools that you need to help find your triggers and to help battle that whole, healing process. Come on. It's time to heal. And having the tools, and again, like we said earlier, you're never going to be to the point where, okay, I'm going to be completely healed for the rest of my life. But when you have the tools to know how to deal with it when it comes, it makes you that much stronger. So Michaela Joyner, coiledinconfidence.com. When I tell you her program is awesome. I mean, the tools that she uses from her, and I don't want to get too much because I'm not sure what all she wants to be public, but you guys need to check her out. She also has a book called Hurt, and I may have already said this before, but she has a book called Hurt where she talks about the differences between, she'll tell you her story, and then she'll tell you ways to combat that different type of hurt. Mm-hmm. But with that, it's very interactive. So you'll go through and you'll answer different questions, and with answering those questions, it'll help you recognize your triggers. It'll help you recognize what you're going through. It'll help you, because another thing that we actually deal with mental health is sometimes we block stuff out of our mind. So it's hard to find a trigger because even though we went through it, we don't remember because it was that detrimental that we block it out.
I have that issue. Like I have a and I didn't know it comes from depression too. Like it's a lot of stuff I just don't remember, and people are like, "But you were there, like you was." I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And for the longest, they thought you just think like even when I drive back in Decatur sometimes, I'm like, well, where is such and such? Oh, you moved up there 30 minutes away. You think? No, I really do not remember. Like I have the GPS through the case sometimes.
Yeah, we'll do it, and it's a protective mechanism. Real. It will. The problem is with that protective mechanism is it keeps us from dealing with it. So we've got to find a way to address it. So and remember, so we can actually, heal from that thing. So. So, coiledinconfidence.com, Michaela Joyner, when I tell you, you guys will love her.
My person that we use with the 8AB talent agency is Jasmine Parker. We'll have all her stuff at the bottom. I can't remember it in my head. She does a lot. And I believe she is now a mental health coach. I believe she's an actual coach. She is a counselor, but I believe she is now an actual life coach. We had her at my mentorship program, and all of the young ladies, it was from 12 to 17, she made them, they started just pouring, like talking and telling, like she was able to just bring them out, and like everybody that was there was like, oh my God, I didn't expect to, have that type of situation. So she is amazing. She's also made me take this personality test. And I did find out I was highly assertive.
I didn't tell you that.
Self-awareness. highly assertive.
So we call her Joe Joe Jackson. If you don't know, Joe Jackson, Michael Jackson, that at the agency to our talent.
But get the job done. Got some stars.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding. But yes, we'll have Jasmine stuff. at the bottom of the screen, so you guys can check her out. She is amazing. She is very open. I think she got like hotlines and emergency line. You can contact her by different type of forms or fun forms. You don't even feel like you are being, I want to say, evaluated. No, but seriously, but you don't really feel like that. So check her out.
Absolutely. Well, we want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you for those people who just keep tuning in and coming and see us.
And subscribing.
We actually have some surprises coming up. So you've been seeing us so far in the studio. And the next couple of episodes, you're going to start seeing us hitting the city in different places. We're going to hit up a gun range. So you're going to get to see us shoot. We're going to hit up some of the local businesses. We're going to hit up some of the local businesses. We're going to eat. We're going to drink. We're going to dine. So, and highlight some of these owners. Like, we're going to get out into the city. Not just Huntsville. As time goes on, we'll hit Nashville. We'll hit Atlanta. We're just going to be all over. Right. So, keep tuning in. You're going to see some exciting stuff because we don't just want to limit to this platform inside the studio. We want to get out. We want you to see the city. It's extremely easy for us to sit here and tell you about businesses. It's a totally different experience when we are out inside the business. Right. You get to see the atmosphere and you get to talk to the owners with us.
Exactly.
Right. And stay tuned because we have some possible live studio audience coming up. So if you haven't yet, make sure you follow us on Facebook.com/Talk Uncensored. Same thing for Instagram, Talk Uncensored. And then TikTok. Our video actually did really good. We're going to do some more. This Friday, we have one that we're going to do. It's not going to be a dance, so sorry, not this time. But it's actually going to be funny.
It is going to be funny.
So make sure you follow us on there. Make sure you like and follow our TikTok because we're trying to get to those 1,000 views so we can start going live on TikTok. Absolutely. And then, like I said, like we have some upcoming stuff that I feel like you guys are going to love. So stay with us. Like, y'all are about to experience the ride. You're about to experience the ride as we build this platform, and we're just excited to
meet these people and have fun.
Absolutely. So that's it for this episode. Thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.